Alright, I'll shoot this quick video for a couple of guys that have been asking me about my travel bow kit. I had Bob Sarles of Sarles Archery make me a custom two-piece takedown bow that was identical to my one-piece bow, specifically so I could build it in this kit. The case that you're looking at is a Pelican Storm IM 3100. I chose that case because it gave me the absolute minimum amount of length that I needed to store my particular arrows with broadheads in a bow quiver, and the minimum amount of width I needed to cram all this stuff in here that I've got. So let's start with the top. Here we've got 12 spare arrows. They're just cut into foam, and I can put in whatever type I want. There's plenty of room for broadheads, judos, you name it. These two pieces, these have 12 cuts. This one has 13. And in the 13th cut, I put my bow square, which will give me the ability to tune for nock height as well as brace height. But all of my arrows are actually crested so that these bars here line up with the laminations on my riser. So all of my arrows act as a bow square for at least brace height, but that doesn't also include nock height. Under my arrows, I keep 2 spare strings. Those are pre-stretched, pre-tuned. Nock heights are set perfectly. My quiver here is a Thunderhorn, and I had a beaver tail put in to match my bow grip. That's not really important. This slot for my knife, I cut it long enough to fit one of the largest knives I've got, and then inside this bottom I actually put a little vertical slit so I could put the welt of the sheath in there like that and pack that down a little tighter. Binoculars, these are the Swaro 8x30 CL Companions. I chose them because they're the smallest, lightest weight binocular that's actually offers really good optical performance. In this patch, I typically keep arm guard, string wax, game calls for whatever I'm hunting. These are a couple of deer calls. This is a grunt, adjustable by tone, and then a doe bleat. And these were made for me by a friend of mine, Jeremy Holden. And my release aid. Under here, I can actually pull this plug out too and put in a little Plano case with a bunch of spare arrow points, little extra components, if you will, if I feel the need for it. That being said, when you're packing an extra dozen arrows in the lid plus 4 here, that's 16 arrows. I haven't ever been on a hunt where I feel like I need more than 16 arrows. My bow is a 2-piece Sierra made by Bob Sarles. Goes in like that, socket locket. It's a pretty slick design. It has antler tips from a whitetail that I shot with my one-piece Sierra. And then just a couple of woods that look kind of pretty and meet my preferences for aesthetics. Nothing really special there other than this is my bow. And then the only other trick that you don't see here is this top piece of foam here, because this Pelican Storm case is actually 3 layers of foam, where you've got 2 inches or 1.5 inches, and then another one, and then a thin one. I can pull this whole panel out, and then under here I have enough room to put in one of my 8 3/8 inch barrel or shorter Smith & Wesson in-frame revolvers. So sometimes I'll put in one of my 44 mags if I'm going out on a hunt where I may want to have the backup of a rifle, or I'm sorry, the backup of a handgun, so potentially like a bear hunt or something like that. And part of the reason I wanted this case was it is crush proof, waterproof, it floats, so if I go on a canoe trip, that's fine. It's airline safe, and passes TSA guidelines. So again, if I'm bringing my handgun as an auxiliary weapon, I can get through TSA with that. And it's just really small and compact and ready to go, and makes for a really nice travel kit. So hopefully this video will help. Maybe it'll give you a couple ideas on how to build a travel kit of your own that possibly meets or exceeds your standards. I have been really pleased with mine over the past couple years. It makes traveling to hunt so much easier to know that I can just grab my kit and go. And I never have to worry about, am I forgetting something? Am I missing something? Because you open it up and, you know, say you open this thing up and you're ready to go hunt, but you left your binoculars at home. Well, there's a big gaping hole. So you know when you open it up, as long as all the holes are filled, you've got everything that you need for any game species that you might ever want to hunt in one place. And the only thing that I really swap out are my game calls. I change these out seasonally, and I'll change out my knife depending on, you know, what it is that I intend to do on that particular trip. Sometimes I go with something bigger, sometimes I go with something smaller. So anyway, that's the gig, and hope it helps.